Let's begin. Today's September 7th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's all-odd lineup of criteria cards are 1, 9, 13, 17, and 19, and the puzzle uses the orange verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So in the grid above, we've got our 5 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. On the bottom row, we've got criteria card D and criteria card E. So criteria card A looks at our first digit, the triangle digit, and compares it to the number 1. So should triangle be equal to 1, or should triangle be greater than 1? Criteria card B looks at our 3-digit solution and will let us know how many of those digits are 3. Are there no 3s? Is there a single 3? Perhaps 2? Maybe even all 3 are 3. Criteria card C will be comparing our middle and last digit, square and circle, and should the value of square be less than circle? Should they be equal to each other, or should square be greater than circle? Criteria card D again looks at our 3-digit solution, but this time will let us know how many of those digits are even. Are there no evens? Is there a single even? Perhaps 2? Maybe even all 3 are even. And finally, criteria card E will look at our first 2 digits, triangle and square, add them up, and compare the sum to the number 6. So should the sum be less than 6? Should it be equal to 6? Or should the sum be greater than 6? And remember, the objective of today's puzzle is to find that unique 3-digit code that abides by all of the 5 criteria cards we just described. And we're going to start off with an initial proposal of 314. So, the first thing I think I want to test is, let's go ahead and test criteria card E. Okay, so the Turing Machine does not approve of my proposal. Notice that I did choose a 3 for triangle and a 1 for square. That sum is 4, which is less than 6, but the Turing Machine does not approve of that. So it's basically telling me that the sum is either equal to 6 or greater than 6. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section E. And again, that's that triangle plus square is either equal or greater than 6. And of course, there are a lot of possibilities for the sum of the first 2 digits to be equal to 6. 1 and 5, 2 and 4, 2 3s. But of course, that means that it's either even or odd, and at this point, we still don't quite know. Let's see. And of course, we really can't cross out anything at this point since there are a lot of possibilities. Next, let's go ahead and test criteria card C. Okay, so again, the Turing Machine does not approve of what I have in my proposal. Notice that I do have a 1 for square and a 4 for circle. So it's not true that that square is less than circle. So either it's going to be that a square equals circle, or square is greater than circle. So let's go ahead and type that up. And that again is in criteria card C. And that is that square is either equal to or greater than circle. Okay, but because it's equal, I think that alone does not allow us to actually cross out anything, because all digits are equal to each other, and of course there are ample examples of square being greater than all the other digits, than other digits. So at this point, we haven't been able to cross out anything. Trying to think forward what the solution might be. Obviously, there's something interesting going on with sort of the number of threes versus evens. Just curious of I'm afraid if I test criteria card A, sure, it'll be true, but that'll mean that I only cross out one digit. Or I could cross out 4. I don't know. It could be a 1. Yeah, I'm not sure. So let's see. If we're able to know how many evens there are, like, for example, if there's a 1 even, then we know that we have either 0, 1, or 2 threes. How helpful is that? I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and, let's go test criteria card D. Okay, that's also incorrect. So notice that I do have a single even. So let's see, it doesn't like that there's a single even. I don't think there can be 3 evens, because if there were 3 evens, we know there'd be 0 threes. And so we can't have that. So that means that either there are no evens, or there are 2 evens. So I'm going to write that out for criteria card D. And that's the solution has 2 or no evens. And that does it for this round. Very, non-informative. We have some information, but nothing to actually have crossed out anything. And as I stated, we've completed this round. We did the 3 Turing tests. Now we're moving into the phase of how to construct a good second round proposal. So again, I did not test criteria card A, where we're testing our first digit, the triangle digit, to the number 1. We didn't test criteria card B, the number of threes, and the 3 that we did test are a bit inconclusive, right? They're not definitive. So we got our work cut out for us. Okay, so let's see what could be happening here. Yeah, it's pretty tough. What would it mean for a triangle to be 1 if possible? Then we know that the best I think we could do is equal 6. That would be interesting. So if triangle were 1, it forces square to be 5. But then what about circle? It's either equal or it's not. Equal to square or not. Yeah, I'm not too sure if that's too simple. The fact that, there's also that card for threes. Let's see. What can we do to test criteria card B, the number of threes, and then pick a good, proposal to somehow figure out what criteria card D will tell us, the number of evens. Could there be all odds? If I did have 2 evens, we know that we'd have a sum of 6. And even though we can compare square and circle, I don't know if that's enough to really establish which one would be the 2 and which one would be the 4. Yeah, it could be something like maybe 241 or 243, depending if there is a 3. Yeah, something, yeah, let's see, 24. But if it would be 241 or 243, yeah, perhaps something like that, 24. Maybe there is a 3. Or maybe, better yet, maybe there isn't a 3 because, or maybe, yes, I'm just thinking about the 2 3s that add up to 6. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do 2 4 3. Let's see how we do there. Okay, so the whole objective of that particular proposal was to test whether the sum of the first 2 digits is indeed 6 or not. So let's go ahead and retest criteria card E. Okay, so yes, the sum is equal to 6. So let's go ahead and cross out this part of our notes. Now we still don't know if it's 2 4. And the best way to do that is to retest criteria card D. Yeah, so let's go ahead and test criteria card D. No. Okay. So since the Turing Machine does not approve of my proposal with 2 evens, in fact there are no evens. Very interesting. So let's cross out the 2 evens, or the 2. Okay, so yeah, so let's just go over this again. It didn't like 1, it didn't like 2. I don't believe we can have 3 because then that would mean there are 0 3s, and we can't have that. So yeah, so there are no evens. So let's go ahead and cross out all of the evens. So we're looking at an all odd solution, and actually I did commit a mistake. Let's see, no, wait. Oh, no. I haven't tested the number of 3s yet. Okay, I thought I had and overlooked it. Okay, so now square and circle, we're comparing odds. Okay, well, let's go ahead. Okay, so let's see. If I test criteria card A, I already know that the sum is 6. So if it's 1, then I know it's going to be a 5. But if it's not a 1, then I don't know if it's 3 3 or 5 1. Now that said, yeah, I'm trying to think of square and circle. Wow. Well, let's see if it does approve, and of course we can't have 3 3s because again that would mean that the criteria card for evens would be known. There would be no evens, and we can't have that. I do have a single 1 or a single 3 in the proposal. If it doesn't like that, then there are either no 3s or 2 3s. see. I wonder if retesting even C at this point would be helpful. We would know whether they are equal or indeed square is greater than circle. Wow. I'm really torn here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to test C again. Wow, this is so bizarre. Okay, so it is not true that square is greater. So let's go ahead and get rid of the greater, and we know that it's going to be equal. Okay, so square and circle are equal. So let's go ahead and do the following. So we are done with this round. We tested our 3 Turing tests. So now let's actually list out all the possibilities. So I think we can say for sure that it can't be 3, 3. Because if that were the case, that would force circle to be also 3. And that's hard to believe that the solution would be 3, 3, 3, especially if there's a card that has that. So I don't think it's going to be 3, 3. So it's going to be either 1, 5 or 5, 1, which means that we're really deducing that there are no 3s at this point. So let's see. So we have 1, 5, 5. Yeah, I think it's only 1, 5, 5 or 5, 1, 1. Right? Because if there aren't 2 3s, yeah, the first 2 cannot be 3 because that would force a circle to be 3. I don't think that's going to be the case. So let's see. Yeah, 1, 5, 5, 5, 1, 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see, which one would be better for triangle to be, 1 or 5? Because if we had no 3s, I'm not sure, but let's go with 5, 1, 1. And let's see, what are we going to test? Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and test criteria card A. That's the only one that we really haven't tested. Okay, so yes, it's true that triangle has to be greater than 1. So obviously triangle is not a 1. And I'm pretty sure that should be definitive that the answer should be 5, 1, 1. So let's go ahead and type it up. Oh, I forgot to write the notes. So it's true that triangle is going to be greater than 1. Okay. And let's see, I guess, yeah, we did test D with 2 evens and 1 even. So we concluded that there are no evens. Yeah, that looks good. So we're going to let's just type up that we're going to deduce no 3-digit in the solution. It's kind of lagging in there. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and confirm 511. Okay, yeah. So how do we do versus a Turing machine? I will say, I think this has got to be a first, where in my first 2 rounds, I tested the exact 3 criteria cards. I don't think that's ever happened. We did have 5 criteria cards, but 7 tests. Wow, that's also pretty big. So we'll see how we did. So we did C, D, E the first 2 rounds, and it wasn't until we got E correct on the second, and then A correct on the third, and we deduced B. So let's go see how we did. So C, D, E. So C, D, E were all incorrect. And in the second round, very similar, except E was correct. And then the third round, A was correct. Wow. Okay, so we tied it. Wow, fantastic. I don't think I've ever enjoyed a tie before as much as I do right now. Because, wow, like I said, I don't remember ever doing this before, and it just worked out. So, what do you think? Did you enjoy this puzzle as much as I did? It really, it did something. I don't know. Very interesting puzzle. Please add your thoughts to the comments. And of course, if you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up so that more people can find the channel. And of course, hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. Well, until next time, have a great one.